morning, everyone. Today, our group is going to talk about a topic that is becoming more and more common in our daily lives. Have you ever seen a gluten-free label on a menu or a snack box? Our topic is no wheat, please, and we are going to focus on celiac disease. First, let's understand what celiac disease is. It is a chronic autoimmune disorder. This means it is not just a simple stomach, it's a long-term condition where the body's immune system mistakenly attacks its own healthy issues. Specifically, for people with the disease, eating even a tiny amount of gluten can trigger a serious reaction. Now, you might ask, what exactly is gluten? Gluten is a type of protein found in grains like wheat, barley, and rye. It acts like a glue that helps food maintain its shape, giving bread its chewy texture because it's so useful. It is everywhere, in bread, pasta, pizza, cakes, and even hidden in things like soy sauce or salad dressings. For most of us, gluten is harmless, but for someone with celiac disease, this glue becomes a poison. When gluten enters their systems, it causes the immune system to attack the lining of the small intestine. The damage is serious because the small intestine is where we absorb almost all our nutrition. If it's damaged, the body can't get the vitamins it needs, no matter how much the person eats. In the next few minutes, we will explain the symptoms, the causes, and how patients can manage this condition.
When we think of food-related issues, we usually think of a stomach, but for celiac disease, the symptoms are very complex and can be different for every person. This is why many people call it a hidden disease. The most common symptoms are digestive. This includes things like stomach pain, bloating, gas, and chronic diarrhea. Some people might lose weight unexpectedly because their body isn't absorbing nutrients. If you have ever felt very sick after eating a bowl of pasta, this might be why. However, it's not always about the stomach. Many patients experience non-digestive symptoms. For example, they might feel extreme fatigue, like they have no energy all day. Others might suffer from headaches, joint pains, or even depression. A very specific symptom is a skin rash that is extremely itchy. In children, the symptoms are even more critical because they are still growing. Celiac disease can cause slow growth or failure to thrive. They might be shorter than their friends or have problems with their teeth. The biggest challenge is that some people have no symptoms at all. They feel fine, but the gluten is still damaging their body inside. This makes the disease very dangerous if it is not discovered early. So it's important to pay attention to how our bodies react to what we eat.
So why do some people develop celiac disease while others can eat as much bread as they want? The answer is a mix of genetic and environment. The primary cause is, of course, the consumption of gluten. But as I mentioned, gluten is just a trigger. The real cause is an abnormal immune response. In a healthy person, the immune system fights off bacteria and viruses. But in a celiac patient, the immune system sees gluten as a foreign invader and starts a war inside the small intestine. This friendly fire destroys the villi, which are tiny finger-like bombs that line the intestine and help us absorb food. We also know that genetics plays a huge role. Celiac disease often runs in families. If you have a parent or a sibling with the disease, your risk of having it is much higher. Scientists have identified specific genes that are linked to the condition. But here is the interesting part. Having a gene doesn't mean you will definitely get a disease. Many people have the genes but never get sick. Doctors believe that sometimes a trigger is needed to start the This could be a viral infection, a period of high stress, or even pregnancy. In summary, it's like a perfect storm where your genes and your environment come together, causing your body to start accepting waste products forever.
Diagnosing celiac disease can be quite a long journey. In fact, many patients are misdiagnosed with irritable bowel syndrome or just stress for years before they find the truth. The first step usually involves a blood test. Doctors look for specific antibodies. If your body is fighting gluten, this antibody level will be very high. It's a simple test, but there's a catch. You must be eating gluten at the time of the test. If you are already on a gluten-free diet, the antibody won't show up, and the test will be wrong. If the blood test is positive, the next step is usually an endoscopy. A doctor uses a small camera to look at the small intestine and takes a tiny sample of the tissue. This is called a biopsy. Under a microscope, they can see if the villi are flattened or damaged. This is the only way to be 100% of the diagnosis. Early diagnosis is very important. If left untreated, celiac disease can lead to other serious health problems, such as osteoporosis, which makes your bone weak, or anemia, which makes you feel weak because of low iron. By catching it early, patients can stop the damage and let their bodies heal.
Now for the most important part, how do we treat it? Currently, there's no pill and no surgery to cure celiac disease. The only medicine is a strict lifelong gluten-free diet. This sounds simple, but it's actually very hard. It means no regular bread, no traditional pasta, and no beer. Patients have to become label experts. They must read the ingredients of every single thing they buy. Another big challenge is cross-contamination. Imagine you are making a gluten-free sandwich, but you use a knife that just cuts regular bread. That tiny amount of crumbs is enough to make a celiac patient sick. This makes eating at restaurants or friends' houses very stressful. Many patients have to have their own separate toasters and cutting boards at home. The good news is that the world is becoming more gluten-free friendly. Today, we have amazing flour substitutes made from rice, corn, or almonds. Many supermarkets now have entire sections dedicated to gluten-free food. Once the patient stops eating gluten, their small intestine usually starts to heal within weeks. They feel more energetic, their stomach pain disappears, and they can live a completely normal, healthy life. To wrap up, celiac disease is a serious challenge, but with awareness and a careful diet, it is manageable. Thank you for listening, and we hope you learned something new today.